Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we are going to talk about why I decided to, not purchase the conspiracy controversy palette or whatever, the whole collection. I just want to give you guys my point of view and what I thought about it or whatever. You guys may not care, but because of the video that I am doing today, I feel like it's necessary to kind of give a brief background to why I made the decision I made. So if you're interested in seeing what we're doing today, because I don't know what my thumbnails can look like, no what I'm gonna name it, but we'll just get into it. So if you are interested in seeing what I'm gonna talk about today, go ahead and stay tuned. But before you get all cozy, there is a subscribe button that's located right here. The notification bell is located right next to it. Go ahead and click both because I know for certain you don't want to miss another video from your girl. So go ahead, right there. Click. Woo! So when Shane Dawson decided to come up with the series, and he...
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Siri, nobody was talking to you. So when Shane Dawson decided to do the series with Jeffree Star, we all kind of knew that, okay, of course he was going to talk about drama or whatever, because that's what he had stated. And also too, that we knew that he was coming out with a makeup collection with Jeffree Star. But because I am a supporter of Shane Dawson, I really wasn't sure whether or not I was going to support, only because of who he was collaborating with. Okay, like we don't have to go into details to why I like one over the other. We kind of already know, why. Right? And I have said it in the past. If you want to go see videos that I've talked about that before, I have a forgiving heart, right? I forgive anybody 1 or 2 times, but if you're constantly doing the same thing over and over, I'm not saying that you're past forgiveness, but it's kind of hard for me to move forward with you if I don't see that you're making the effort to make a change. So nonetheless, it was a difficult decision, at least on my part, because I'm like, okay, I'm starting out my platform. I want to be able to, review things and be unbiased and stuff like that. But of course, you do have a moral compass, and you don't want to review products that might be problematic, or your subscribers may look at you a little sideways for reviewing certain things. But of course, you got to check yourself and your beliefs, and you also have to make it clear to your audience that what you will do, what you wouldn't do, and also give a little bit of explanation to why you would or wouldn't. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I had reached out to my friend Elsa, and I was like, listen, I want to get this palette. I support him, and I just kept battling with the decision to buy it. And it took her a minute to respond or whatever. And I was basically like talking to her, but then not talking to her, because I just needed to get it all out to be like, okay, maybe I should, and what should I do? Help me. And she's one of my subscribers that actually became one of my friends that, I'll hit up and get advice from and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get her opinion. Like, what do you think I should do? And then I finally kind of answered my own question. I was like, you know what? If I have to ask whether or not I should be doing something, I shouldn't do it. And I decided not to purchase. So it's not that I don't like Shane. I have made it clear. I like the guy, right? I really do. I think he's funny. I think he comes off genuine. People may have issues with him personally, may think that, his past has, been a little sketchy or inappropriate. But I feel like, again, we all have done things in our past that we are not proud of. And I feel like we all deserve the opportunity to redeem ourselves. And I feel like, that he has done or has shown that he has become a better person. Let me just kind of analyze what this palette looks like and see for those who had issues with supporting Shane because of who he partnered up with. I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can find something in my collection that I can dupe and bring to you guys. I know for a fact that I'm not going to find items that are perfect dupes, but I'm also bringing you eyeshadows that are brown girl friendly. because what I did notice in that palette, on both palettes, that it wasn't meant for someone who looks like me. At least most of the shades wasn't meant for a person who looks like me. Not mad at it, not complaining, whatever. But I know that if I would have gotten the palette, there would have been a few eyeshadows that I couldn't rock. It would just sit there and pick up dust. And if I'm gonna pay $52 for anything, I'm gonna get my money's worth. Now, with that being said, is this the first palette ever in life that there are shades that I cannot use? Absolutely not. But because we are in the time that we are in, you would think that you'd be a little bit more aware of what goes into a palette and how it could benefit everybody. With that being said, we're going to go over some dupes and introduce you to maybe some companies that you haven't even heard of. But there's some shades that have been discontinued. I reached out to companies to be like, okay, are these coming back? What's going on? And I haven't heard from anybody. So we're just going to kind of give you an idea that look within your own, well, the whole point is look within your own collection, because all of us are now collectors of makeup, and we have things in our collection that, you know, we can actually shop within ourselves before dishing our money out, because so many things have come out into the market within the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. We constantly purchase and purchase, and I know that we can dupe a few things. So let's have a little fun. I just want this video to be as lighthearted as possible. This is no diss to Shane nor Jeffree. Trying to get a dupe video up and going through my collection was tasking. So know that I did this out of love and fun. If you are interested in seeing how the conspiracy and controversy palette actually looks and get real-time swatches, I'm going to send you to, I want to say her name is Anarchy. She did a review on the conspiracy palette, some lip shades, and I think she did a wonderful review. From my understanding, homegirl is getting a lot of hate for it, but if someone actually really watched her video, now see her beautiful face, she's a cutie pie, and I'm gonna leave her link down in my description box. Go check that video out. I feel like her video was very thorough. I feel like she gave the collection a go, and it wasn't even super negative. So I don't understand why she's getting a lot of hate. I think that her thumbnail was problematic, and so people, you know, if you know Jeffree's, you know, stans, and if y'all don't know who Stan really is, let me introduce you. That's a stan. You look crazy when you're going in on people you do not know behind someone who doesn't know you. Just letting you know. But anywho, so she did a great video, and Chrissy Glam also, she received PR, and she has a couple of videos dedicated to the collection. I will also leave her information down in the description box, and you can go check her out and show them some love, because it's not everybody has beef with these dudes and are really supportive and very forgiving. So let's not show anybody any hate for supporting these people. You know what I mean? Amy Loves Makeup. She's very fair skin, and she also did a dupe video. So for my lighter sisters, if you want to go check her out, because what I might show you may cater more to deeper skin tones, and Amy Loves Makeup is very fair, and she has dupes over there that will benefit you. So you can go check her out. I will also leave her information down in the description box, so you know, you can go show her some love and watch her dupe video. Okay, let's get into this. This is my custom palette that I made a dupe of. Of course, again, I'm going to state that these shades are not exact dupes, but close to it. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is a gnome. They're different sizes, so I couldn't align them the way I wanted to, but I have both the conspiracy and the controversy palette mixed in here, but you can see that this is the kind of the same color scheme as Jeffree and Shane's palette. So let's get into the swatches. We're duping from right to left. So the first shade is Blow by Glow Cosmetics. The second shade, I'm not too sure what it's by Luxie Beauty or Luxie Cosmetics, but I rubbed the name off of it, so I don't know what that is. The third shade is by Makeup Geek, Frappe. The fourth shade is also by Makeup Geek, Cocoa Bear. The fifth shade is Faded by Glow Cosmetics. And the last shade is Dark Chocolate by ABH. We're starting from right to left. So the first shade is Fairy Acid by Glow Cosmetics. Second shade is First Kiss by Luxie Beauty. Third shade is Lemon Drop by Makeup Geek. Fourth shade is Ultraviolet by Luxie Beauty. Fifth shade is Orange Zest by Ben Nye. And the last shade is Sauce by Colored Rain. Starting from right to left, we have Queen of Mean from Luxie Beauty, Glow Cosmetics, Silver for the second shade. Third shade, I'm Into It by MAC Cosmetics. Fourth shade is Hashberry by Luxie Beauty. Fifth shade is Glow Cosmetics, Emerald. And the last shade is ABH Noir. I am pretty proud of myself for these dupes right here. You have to give it to me. So the very first shade is by ABH Soft Gold. Second shade is ABH Custard. The third shade is ABH Victorian. The fourth shade is Vibes by Colored Rain. The fifth shade is ABH Sienna. The sixth shade is by Glow Cosmetics Pandora. The seventh shade is Cute by Colored Rain. The eighth shade is Poolside by Makeup Geek. And the ninth shade is by Glow Cosmetics Rendezvous. So what did you think of the swatches? So for my custom palette, I just wanted to dedicate it to both palettes and see if I can get close to it. But if you think of the color story in both palettes, we have seen blues, we have seen yellows, we have seen oranges, we have seen reds. There was really nothing uber unique. So I feel like when folks were thinking about getting this palette, there were just one or two shades that we were gravitating towards. So let's talk about those unique shades because I don't even think they're really unique. The first row was kind of like, you know, said as like the everyday shades and something you can use, whatever. So there was nothing unique in that first row. In the second row, the only shade, which is now not even unique, is food videos. So you have food videos, and on the third row, I guess, What's the Tea? What's the Tea is such a shade. It's a pastel-y mint or like a mint shade. And then you have Not a Fact. That were the only shades in that row that was like, okay, well, I want to try that. And I'm not going to sit here in front. Not a Fact was the only shade in that palette, and it's not even me being funny, was the only shade in that palette. I was like, y'all want to rock it. It wasn't the yellow, the fluorescent yellow. It wasn't that. It was that one. It was that one shade to keep it all the way a buck. We all have blacks. We all have shimmers. So it's, nothing uber unique. So when I go over the other shades, I'm only going to, and I wrote notes, I'm going to just discuss the shades that come close to it. It's not even going over both palettes. So with this next palette I'm showing, it is the Ace Beauty Oceanic palette. And it's only a few shades in here that are similar dupes to both palettes. So from the Conspiracy palette, I have a dupe for What's the Tea, and it is the shade Fiji. Now, this shade right here is not nowhere near being an exact dupe, but for us brown skin beauties, it does give us some pigment. So the next dupe is for Illuminati, and it is Marina, and it is this shade right here. So this palette doesn't have any dupes for the Controversy palette, but look at the blues. So if you're looking for a palette that has good deep blues for your deep skin tone, this Oceanic palette is the one for you. And for my next palette, now this palette I only pulled it out for a dupe for the Trisha shade, right? And it's another Ace Boutique palette. It is the Blossom Passion palette. Now, I know it's only for one shade, but if you're looking for pinks, my dear, here you go. Here you have them. You have a plethora of pinks and reds that you can work with. So the shade that I feel like is close to a dupe is the shade Beauty, and it's the shade right here. Nice, pretty hot pink. Now, I believe that Trisha is more of a metallic-y hot pink, but this is more of a satin finish. And you have pairing shades to go with Beauty. So, if you're in the business of looking for a pink shade, a hot pink shade, also with transitions for your dark skin to go with that hot pink, here you go. This next palette is just for the Controversy palette, and it's just focusing on the blues. So, it is the Warriors 3 palette by Juvia's Place. And it's these two shades right here that coincidentally are not in the same position, but on the same bottom row as the Controversy palette. So to dupe canceled, we're going to go with Gola. And it's this matte sky blue, not even a sky blue. I don't even know what you would. No. And the next shade is Congo, duplicating the Simulation. And this is a shimmery shade. I swear, get off my face and focus on my hand. So there's options out there. It would be ideal for everything to be together. But again, if you go through your own collection, you will be surprised what you might find. For my next palette to debut, well, I have featured it on my channel. It is the ABH Norvina palette, volume 1. Now you can kind of look at this palette and know what shades that you can find in the Conspiracy palette. And this is more, they have more shades in this palette to complement just not one shade, but several shades, to where in the Jeffree and Shane Dawson palette, you're just literally using that one shade and have nothing else to kind of work with it. At least if you're not a deeper complexion, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So for the Conspiracy palette, for the shade Ranch, I am duping it with C1. I believe that Ranch is a shimmer shade and C1 is a matte white. It's not a shimmer, but that's a hellified white. For Cheese Dust, we're going in with E2. This is the dupe for Cheese Dust. And for Flamin' Hot, we're going in with D3. Okay. And for the shade Not a Fact. Now, I will say the shade Not a Fact does look a little unique, but I feel like Jeffree has produced a shade like that that's in the Blood Sugar palette. May not be close to it, but similar. And we're still working on the Norvina palette volume 1. And now we're going into the Controversy palette and trying to find some dupes there. For the shade Controversy, I'm going to dupe it up against the shade A2. Look at this purple. And then the next shade is for My Apology. And I'm going to dupe it up against the shade C3. This is a beautiful shade. You see how pigmented these are? And the last shade is Exposed. And I'm going to use the shade A1. Now, Exposed in the Controversy palette is a matte. And this is a iridescent shade. I'm sorry, I didn't swatch it on. But there's that. But it is that pale pastel purple. Okay, so the next palette I'm going to swatch is the ABH Volume 2 palette. And for the shade Food Videos, I'm going to swatch A2. For those who don't know what the inside of this palette looks like, it looks like this. Oh, the travesty. A2. And yellows are hard to to do. Yellows are not the perfect shade, but it's pigmented enough to get what you need. I think that food videos, from what I can see as far as swatch goes, it is a little bit more fluorescent. But this isn't a bad shade either, and I don't know if it's buildable to create that yellow green floral. Oh yeah, it is. So it is buildable. And I'm going to swatch A1, and this is a dupe for Trisha. And I'm going to swatch D2 for Cheese Dust. And E1 for What's the Tea. Now this is not going to come close. This is a deeper shade than What's the Tea. And it also has some shimmer shade, like little sparklies in it. So What's the Tea is a nice mint shade, and this is deep enough. My hands are a little damp. The shade does come off a little patchy, but buildable. And the last shade is a matte black. It is E5, and it's duping My Rides Here. Right? Is it My Rides Here? And it's a black. This one actually kind of looks kind of but it's a black. I'm sure you have a black in your collection somewhere. Okay, and that's for the Conspiracy. So the blues in this palette really don't compare to the blues in the Controversy palette. They're more of like a purpley blue, periwinkle kind of shade, and they're all mattes. But if you are looking for blues, you still will find blues in this palette. The next palette is another ABH Norvina palette, and this is volume 3. So it just like all these new palettes just came out, and they're all kind of like not copying off each other, but they all going with the same kind of, you know, color scheme. So sure, you have these shades, but just giving you options of where to look. So with this particular palette, I only tried to find dupes. Well, there was nothing to really dupe from the Controversy palette, but I only try to find dupes from the Conspiracy palette. So the first shade I'm going to dupe is B5. And this is a dupe for Tanacon. D1 for Diet Root Beer. There you go. Diet Root Beer. For food videos, I'm going to swatch A1. And this is more fluorescent than the one that was in the volume 2. That's A1 for food video. The next one is going to be B3 for pigment. And this is not a exact dupe because pigment is a lighter shade, and this one will complement a person of a darker complexion. And this is B3. The next shade I'm going to swatch is A2. A2 and A5 for Cheese Dust. A dupe for Cheese Dust. And these are two oranges. One is just a little bit more fluorescent. Well, they're both kind of fluorescent, like a dark orange and a lighter orange. This is A2. It's an ugly swatch. Oh yeah, that swatch is horrible. And this one is A5. Oh yeah, that's those ugly swatches. And they kind of look similar, but they're two different shades. And for Flaming Hot, I'm going to swatch C2. Okay, for Flaming Hot, C2. And What's the Tea? I'm going to swatch B2. B2 for What's the Tea. And the last one, Not a Fact, I'm going to swatch C4. C4. Okay, we are down to our last palette. So before I show you guys this last palette, I'm not being petty. I laugh because I just know people feel like I'm going to be petty doing this. As I'm not being petty, but I want you guys to kind of just think about it, look at the palette, and see where I'm coming from. Okay? So the last palette I'm going to show, I'm not afraid to do anything, but let's go with it. It's the James Charles palette. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing the negativity. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody has this palette, all right? They already have it. They had it before the whole Controversy palette was even a thought. But if you have this palette already, I just kind of want you to look at it and see the possibilities and see the controversy within this palette. The one the one thing the controversy palette has up on this one is this stupid thing. The shade names should never be on a piece of plastic. So for those who haven't seen this palette, this is what it looks like. Okay? And can you see where I'm going with this? Can you see? You have your oranges, you have your blues, you have your yellows, you have your greens, you have your transitions that can accommodate everybody. I'm going to swatch what I think would be a proper dupe for the controversy and the conspiracy palette. So just see where I'm coming from. Not everything was dupable from the James Charles palette, so I could only dupe what I could do. So we're starting from right to left. So for Ranch, I'm duping it with Ring Light, Tanacon, Punch Me, Root Beer, Code James, Pigment, Literally, Cheese Dust 518, Flaming Hot, You're Kidding, What's the Tea, Hello, Not a Fact, Love That, Illuminati, Cape Cod, and My Ride Is Here, Spooky. I wasn't able to dupe a lot from the James Charles palette for the controversy palette, so this is what I got. So for Cry on My Couch, I duped it with Canvas. Controversy, I duped it with Single. Diet Root Beer, Code James, My Apology, Shook. So now that we have seen the possibilities of what we could find in our own collection, what do you think? Do you see the palette the same way as you did before when, you know, they first came out and how hyped up it was? Like, I'm not going to knock what it looks like. It actually looks very beautiful. His whole collection looks fly. What I am really impressed with wasn't the makeup so much. It was his merch. His merch to me was like, yeah, it's bomb. I'm just not putting a pig on me, but it's cute. So I just wanted you guys to kind of like just to shop within what you have already and not be disappointed that you didn't get the collection. I know that there has been 2 launches. It was the initial launch, the pre-order, and I know that you won't be able to get your hands on it if you haven't gotten your hands on it already until 2020. So don't fret, my pet. I just gave you some options. If you were looking for certain colors, now you have something to choose from. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this video. I was just having fun, and I also too wanted you to kind of like think outside the box and kind of look into what you already own before, you know, getting all, you know, irate over not being able to get your hands on this $52 palette for only a few shades. And again, I have recommended some videos that you can go see for those who have actually purchased the palette and reviewed it. And if you still want to get the palette, by all means, it's your loot. You can do whatever you want to do with it, and now you have references of what the palette may look like on you, and those videos will be down in my description box, so you can go ahead and check it out. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you think of this video. Also too, if you have made it this far, go ahead and leave me that purple heart so I know that you have stayed until this entire video, which makes me feel all good and cozy inside. And I appreciate all your support. If you want to connect with me on my social media, you can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. And if you want to keep up with my weight loss journey, you can also find me on Instagram on Beauty from the Inside Out 365. And I will definitely catch you all in the next. Bye.
Llegó la mami que todo desespera, te deja